I'm Elizabeth Butler. I work in oils. I was always interested in art, but it wasn't something I considered as a career or anything full-time. It was something that became more important to me as I placed greater priority on self-expression and living to my fullest. So it's what I realized was bringing me more and more joy. So I made a decision to create my life around my art, no matter what. I love the internal journey that it takes me on. I love the challenge of being as open as possible to my own inner knowing and what wants to come through, which sometimes is a little scary. And you have to be really vulnerable and non-judgmental of whatever is taking place sort of in the internal realm. Recently I've been focusing a lot on coming to a place of non-attachment and no aversion, and that can be quite challenging because there's a lot of identification that we can make with what we produce, and sometimes what we're making has a purpose beyond and deeper than our own ego, and even further I think than self-expression. And in order for me to be fully open to that, I have to work on letting go of an attachment, either to something that I think is really beautiful, that I don't want to change, or an aversion to something that maybe I think doesn't look correct or seems out of place. Because both of those in some ways are really judgments from the mind, as opposed to feeling from the heart whatever wants to be expressed and accepting and embracing it as it is, and knowing that it's a transformative journey that's continually evolving and changing. And so any attachment to kind of a moment in time sort of interrupts, I think, the openness and the process and the transformative process that it is. What I hope other people experience is some sense of coming home, some sense of belonging, a sense of joy, a sense of beauty, a connection that really is something that's nonverbal but is very experiential, because the process for me is a very experiential one. And so when people ask me about like my favorite piece, I don't think of the piece, but I think of the experience of making it. And so what I hope somebody has is an experience that's personal to them, and not one that I'm dictating, but one that they're experiencing beyond sort of the mind. I was trained in a really academic and technical way, which has been a beautiful gift, and it allows me to make whatever I want to make. But there's also an aspect of self-expression that has become much more important to me in the past years, for allowing that to come into my work, so that there's more expressiveness and creativity. And I know everything we do is creative, but I'm excited to see what else paint can do that it hasn't done, and how else I can combine things. So I've noticed that I'm more interested now in the different ways that paint can move across the surface, as opposed to just representing what can be seen. I'd like to represent things that we might feel are there that we don't necessarily initially see in this three-dimensional reality. So my time is spent alone in my studio, which I love. And this experience is unique because the people are here to receive you and experience your work with you. And that allows me to participate more in other people's experience of my work, which makes me think about different directions that I might want to go, or how I want to evolve, or just be surprised by things that I didn't expect to hit people in a certain way.